Buddy, we are back. Shaun and Tristen DuCross, the DuCross brothers, crossed the line. Shout out to our sponsor, Auntie. CBD oils, rubs, you name it, they got you covered. Just use the promo code DuCrossBros and you get 10% off of all your CBD needs. Just go to iloveauntie.com and get it. You could also go to our Facebook page, DuCross Brothers. Click the pin link, get your subscription for ESPN Plus. You'll enjoy it. You can watch all the UFC events all on there that are covered. Also, that's where you can watch all their pay-per-views as well. So definitely worth checking it out. In the meantime, Shaun, before he signed the multi-year deal with Golden Boy, Ryan Garcia was not happy about his pay the first time. Now, he is in the thick of an issue again with Oscar De La Hoya. And as he was supposed to fight July 4th on DAZN, that is scrapped because he did not want to take the minimum, $200,000. He said, no, I am good. You are not going to disrespect me. So here we are. Ryan Garcia versus Oscar De La Hoya, round 2. And the question that comes up is, how did we get here?
Right? And how did we get here when we just were crossing the bridge about a year ago? And yet now we are all over again, and we're here into 2020. It seems like 2020 is just an absolute horrible year. Like, let's just phone it in and call it is what it is. Because it doesn't seem like it matters right now, whether it's professionally, personally. 2020 has just been a bad year. And it's really a train wreck. And it continues for athletes. In this case, Ryan Garcia. You were on the fence. Okay? We had this debate for about 20 minutes last night. What side are you on? Are you on Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy side, or are you on that?
Well, explain to them why we are here about the DAZN versus Golden Boy situation and who's at fault. Okay? DAZN is in financial trouble.
Yes.
The pandemic has put a wrinkle in a lot of things, okay, for DAZN. Their subscriptions are horrible. They're losing money. They're bleeding. Okay? This isn't the only fight that has had money issues with DAZN. DAZN signed a deal with Golden Boy as some kind of executive producers behind the back door of Golden Boy. Golden Boy gets money from DAZN to pay certain fighters.
Not just to pay certain fighters, Tristen.
Right.
They get money from DAZN as part of the agreement
for licensing fees and the purses and everything else like that.
The money that they pay to Golden Boy is to pay for the purse money.
Yes.
They go, here you go, Golden Boy. Here's your money. Here's your purse money. It is up to Golden Boy to deviate that how they see fit. See, so how we got here. The issue, let's backtrack, because like my guys on cited, was that this was very confusing.
Absolutely. It was. Because that's where our argument was last night about where we were for what we seen was almost like an hour discussion about both sides of the spectrum for us to finally come together and go like, dude, wait a minute.
Yeah, so let me try to simplify this as much as I can.
Yes.
Okay? So, Golden Boy wanted to put on a fight card for July 4th.
Correct.
DAZN wanted to hold off until September.
Because of the pandemic.
So, it was Golden Boy who pushed DAZN to come back sooner. So, DAZN said, okay, but we have a limited budget. Golden Boy said, that's fine. There's a pandemic. There's no fans.
We understand.
So that is part one of the issue. Now, I'm assuming that in this discussion here, Golden Boy had already announced that Ryan Garcia was going to headline the July 4th main event for the return of Golden Boy.
Ahead of what DAZN originally said.
So that must have meant to me, and then later on to you,
Right.
is that you had already had preliminary discussions with Ryan Garcia about the limited budget. The limit on Ryan Garcia's contract is $200,000.
And previously, the 2 fights before he fought at what?
$250,000. So you're giving him a $50,000 pay cut because of no fans. Okay? Ryan Garcia backed out of that. Ryan Garcia said, I'm not going to go ahead and fight for $200,000. Okay? When I heard that, I was like, okay, that's just Ryan Garcia's camp being petty. Like, you take wins and you take some losses, you take some bumps, it is what it is.
100%.
Then you dig a little bit deeper and you realize there's an underlying issue here. So you go back to last year in the first bout issue with Golden Boy. Ryan Garcia was touted as the next Golden Boy, that he was the next big thing.
The future of the sport.
He wanted to make double with what he was being offered by Golden Boy.
That's where the first contract, the multi-year contract came in. Where he was originally making only $50K.
And now he got bumped up to $500,000. With the understanding that his minimum pay is $200,000 at the bare minimum of what he's able to make. Okay? So where does this all of a sudden just fall off the rails? Because then Ryan Garcia says, oh, I want to talk to DAZN. But DAZN has no control over fight pay. I don't care what you read, where you read it, or how you read it.
Right.
Because you read it that DAZN pays fighters. But they're listed as what?
Executive producers.
Which has no what?
No bearing on decisions.
Financial decisions.
Financial decisions. So they could go, we're going to give you, like I told you, ended up saying, I could give you $3 million to a company, and then that company disperses it out among whoever it is on the bottom dollar.
So again, let me make this perfectly clear. From DAZN, DAZN agrees to pay a promoter a set license fee over the year. The promoter determines the purse.
Yep.
Not DAZN. So why Ryan Garcia wants to go to DAZN to find out the pay only means one thing. If
Somebody's
Oscar
lying.
De La Hoya and his Golden Boy people are trying to wash their hands and say, oh, DAZN's only willing to pay X, Y, and Z.
So we can only give you X, Y, and Z.
But yet, again, like my analogy was, Tristan, was what? If DAZN gives Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions $3 million and says, here you go.
$3 million among 10 people. Just give you an understanding.
If you say, let me give you about 10 fights. 10 fighters, which is 5 fights on the card. So you divide 3 million by 10. Roughly gets you, if my math is right, gets you about 300,000 for every fighter. So that means Ryan Garcia should get 300,000 at the bare minimum.
So where is all the financial money going?
So when I posted it on our fellow site of Cited, everybody joins hands and says Golden Boy is at fault here.
And when we're talking about Golden Boy, who is the Golden Boy? Oscar De La Hoya. And as much as people like Oscar De La Hoya, he does and has had several shady past subjective things happen or come up in his past.
Absolutely. And we heard all the horrific stories about the Golden Boy MMA and how he failed to pay fighters,
Failed to stand by the commitment that he made to Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell. Lied about the pay-per-view buys, lied about the gate, lied about the fighter pay. So you see the common theme here?
So it makes Dana White's whole issue with Oscar look more real than ever, where a lot of people thought that it was just smoke and mirrors. It was just Dana White being Dana White. And like, you know what? Let's just say this and see what happens.
Right.
But the underlying issue here is we're looking at all this, and it's a train wreck that points all fingers back at Golden Boy.
What is the one thing that if you point your finger at somebody, right, you essentially have what? 3 or 4 fingers pointing right back at you.
Yeah.
Right? Don't point fingers at somebody because it's eventually going to come back to you. And what's interesting is that, again, why, if you're a promoter or you are a matchmaker or you are in the line of a big authority figure, why would you take a shot at your number one fighter, Shaun?
Right? You're
because
one guy.
Why would you take a shot? You're supposed to be on the same side, bro. Same side. Ryan Garcia on his Twitter page.
Before he deleted it.
Right. Because, you know, I am who I am, and I'm going to grab that. I don't care who you are. I'm going to grab it. But Oscar De La Hoya.
It's funny because everybody grabbed that same image before it got deleted. It was funny.
Dude, you had to.
Quick, grab it.
But that's what I'm trying to learn, is to do this a little bit more, is find the headlines and I'm going to just rip it from somebody and be like, so this is what he said. But Oscar De La Hoya said, due to the team King Ryan G decision not to accept July 4th bout, we will now return in late July with the future of boxing, Virgil Ortiz. More exciting details to follow.
See how he used the word there? Future of boxing? When the future of boxing was Ryan Garcia?
Right. And then I love Ryan Garcia's response. You do realize you're supposed to beat my promoter, not a hater, right? This isn't the first time. This is the second time that, again, we are here between Ryan Garcia as well as Oscar De La Hoya. And my thinking is that he wants upwards of $500K a fight. Yet he signed the deal for the new one. He hasn't really fought anybody in the top in boxing at all. So I don't necessarily think that he has the leg to stand on saying that I want $500,000 for a fight. But then you look at every fight in boxing and you look at the kid that's supposed to be the future of the sport, and he gets paid less than Devin Haney? Like,
and
what are we doing?
Here's the other glaring issue that I have, Tristan. So, a unnamed boxing manager came out and said that he would not even pay. An unnamed manager came out and said that he could get Ryan Garcia anywhere between 10 to 20 times the amount
correct
that he's getting underneath Golden Boy. And then you got Bob Arum, who came out and said that he's not even worth $200,000.
Right.
But
and that's kind of what I think.
But my rebuttal to that is that if he's not money worthy right now, that's only because of his lack of high level fights. So why is he not getting top 10 guys? Why is he not fighting guys like Tank? Why is he not fighting guys like Devin Haney? Who's really at fault here? Is Golden Boy kind of really sandbagging him and trying to hold him back and say, you know what, as long as he's under contract, we're going to do what we want as what we want? Because that's the vibe that I get.
That is the vibe that I get.